help me. My baby, she's sick. She needs your help.
Oh yeah, Skippy? What's wrong with your baby?
I tried everything, Taryl. It won't drive. My beloved Husqvarna. I tried a new spark plug. Then I tried another spark plug after that. It's still no drive, Taryl. You gotta help me.
Well, a spark plug would have nothing to do with the drive, Skippy. So you got another issue going on. So why don't you just leave it here and I'll take a look at it.
Well, I was hoping this digital spark plug was gonna magically fix the issue like your spark plug that you wear, but it didn't do anything. I think it needs a recharge on that little machine that you got.
Oh, yeah, that could be, Skippy. So why don't you leave that spark plug with me and I'll charge it up on my machine.
Well, I don't know if I want to leave it. It's kind of special to me. A good friend gave it to me. Maybe you could charge it while I wait?
Well, I would, Skippy, but the machine is resting right now. It has to rest. So just leave the spark plug with me and I'll charge it up, and then when you pick up the mower, I'll have it all charged up and ready to go.
All right, well, take care of my babies for me. Here you go. All right, give me a call when it's ready.
All right, I will. Pterodactyl here. Today's video is going to be on this here Husqvarna all-wheel drive walk-behind mower. And there's something going on with the drive. It doesn't want to drive. So we're going to find out why, and we may have to change the belt. So first thing I noticed is this isn't actuating correctly. I should be able to squeeze this all the way to the top, and it's not doing that. So let's start it up and see what's going on. Oh, well, it started working. And then this just shot out of there. So obviously, a piece of wood from their lawn got wedged into the drive system somehow. But I could smell burning belt. So I'm sure the belt is smoked on it because the customer is probably squeezing on that lever too. It's just that I squeezed on it hard enough where it dislodged that hunk of wood. So let's go ahead and put a new belt on it. So if yours has got a bagger, first thing I do would be to take the bag off. And then we're gonna put it up here on the lift table. And we're gonna tip it with the gas tank up. Okay, so the belt is damaged, as you can see. So we'll just go ahead and replace it. And with anything that you replace, should always check these idler pulleys. Because I've seen these where they're locked up, but these are free. So our main problem was that chunk of wood getting stuck in there. But you're going to want to check these anyway on your mower. So this is all open. There's no cover under here that covers any of this. This is how it is. And we need to remove this baffle first. So you need a 3/8 socket. And you're going to remove this screw here, this screw here. It's a plastic screw. And this one's a shoulder screw. Then we got a screw here and one on the other side. Now you got a couple of choices on removing these. You can remove the tire and this baffle to get at that. Or you can just move the wheel out of the way and take the screw out. Now of course, we're gonna have to flip it over to do the other side. So I've got those 4 screws removed. Turn the blade. You can pull this out of the way, pull this out of the way, and then this baffle comes out. Now we can get to the back of the transmission here. And then this just unclips out of here too, if you want to take this out. Just be careful you don't break these tabs off. We really don't need to take this off, but you can. Hold on, I gotta get around you, Mr. Cameraman. Because there's a little release. See how it's got that little lip on there? So you have to release that. A lot of times they'll break off, like this one did. This one's broken. Because it's plastic. Now, this is where the nightmare part comes in. Because they've got 4 screws that hold this front cover on, and that one screw is buried behind the transmission. So, what I normally do is when I go to put this back together, I leave that screw out. 3 of these screws are more than enough to hold this cover on, this front cover. Otherwise, you got to practically pull this whole transmission out just to get that screw out. So again, 3/8. Now we got these real heavy plastic fasteners or bolts. Yeah, you can see there's all kinds of sticks and stuff wedged in here. So they were probably out cutting paths. There's one back here. Nope, now that fell back underneath the cover. This screw here is a real long screw that also acts as a belt guide. So we're going to take this one out and drop it on the floor. See? And then we need to get this screw out here. So again, you're going to want to rotate the wheel so you can get at this screw. And again, it's one of these heavy threaded plastic screws. So now this will pivot. But it's still not enough to get at this one bolt. So now that you got 3 of these out, you can kind of, here's our other screw just fell out from under the cover. You can kind of get your hand under here now. And you can take the belt off. You got to reach up underneath there and take the belt off the transmission pulley in the front. Now I can pivot this a little bit more. It gives me just a little bit more room to get in there. Otherwise, you got to take these 2 screws and these 2 screws, and I can see this one here from the factory. They got it in there crooked. So this is one of those poor designs. So you can get in there with a wrench. You might be able to get in there with a swivel, but I doubt it. It's pretty tight. I usually just inch it out since it's a plastic screw. And then again, I just don't put this one back in. Because if you have problems with the drive, then you got to go through this again. They should have moved the screw over here somewhere, but I'm sure they realized that after they designed the lawnmower and it was too late. And then again, they don't care. Well, the shop can just charge more because now they got to add more labor to it. Take it apart. Because trying to put this back in once you get it out is a pain. You'll end up pulling the transmission out. You'll end up pulling these 4 screws and trying to give yourself enough room to get that out of there. You can get in there. Yeah, now I can get in there with my fingers. My tentacle-like fingers. And get that that last screw out of there. Come on. There we go. So again, we're going to leave that one out. Alright, so now I got the belt off of the front pulley. Now we got to come to the back. Now be aware, there's a little spring here, a return spring, that may pop off on you when you go to take this belt off in the back. So just go ahead and unhook it from back there. There's a hole in this bracket right there where this spring goes into. It's a light duty spring. It doesn't put a lot of tension on it. Just be aware of that. And then we want to unhook this cable which they got running through the middle, which has just got a Z bend on the end. So now we could flip this forward. And you could just take, see, and you, again, you're going to want to clear all this crap out of there, build up. So now you can just take a wrench or an impact and zip this pulley off, and then we can get the belt off of here. So let me get a socket for that. So take a pair of vice grips and grab the shaft that's coming out of the transmission, because that'll hold that for you while you zip that off with either an impact or a hand wrench. So now that's how you get the belt off of there. And then here, it's got Torx. You could use a Torx, a T30, or a 7/16 socket to remove these idler pulleys. Nope. Let me spin the blade out of the way. Now I see this comment a lot when I'm working on these push mowers about I should disconnect the spark plug for safety, because for some reason they think that the lawnmower is going to start because I'm spinning the blade. So just to let you know, I'm going to explain to you how a lawnmower works, a modern lawnmower. If this was a mower from like pre-1980, 81 or 82, it wouldn't have that safety bail on here. That bail you have to pull down in order for it to start. So how this works is, when you pull that bail down, there's a brake on the flywheel. It's called the flywheel brake. And there's a switch on there that has a wire that goes to the coil. So when you pull that back, it pulls the brake away from the flywheel, and it pulls the little metal tab away from the kill switch. And then you're able to start the mower. And then when you let go of the bail, the brake comes in and hits the flywheel, and the metal tab hits the kill wire, which goes to the coil, kills spark to the engine. So I don't need to pull the spark plug wire off. Plus, these newer engines have electronic ignition. It is not going to spark unless it hits a certain RPM. By me turning it like this a little bit is not going to make it spark. I would have to spin that thing real fast in order for that to happen. So I just wanted to address that because I see that a lot. Let's get this pulley out of the way. And now we can put the new belt on. See, we don't even have to take the blade off. Oh yeah, this belt smoked. Oh yeah, look at it. So it got burned up pretty good. So it needed to be replaced. So here's the new belt. And there's the part number. Okay, so now we can install the belt. So let's put it around the blade. And we'll shove this part up front, which goes around this pulley here. And now we have these idlers. And two of these idlers have a little reducer bushing on them. And the one doesn't, because that one fits over here. So, as you can tell, let's see, the belt would go like this part of the belt, the top part goes along here. So then we have this idler that we could stick on there. I got confused there for a second. All right. So that goes there like that. Then this idler, as you can see, it goes in this position here. The belt comes up to there like that, because that's what this other guide is for. And we'll get that started. All right, so now we can turn that. Now this comes around like this for the other one. Get that in position, and there's our dinner. Because our belt cover screws into that hole there. Got it? All right, so let's make sure this is on the front. And then here's that long screw that goes into trans. That acts as our belt guide. So you want to put that in, because if you put it in like this and you go to tighten it, it's going to be on the outside. So let's put that in now to hold that in place for us. Since we're going to leave that other screw out. That's 3/8. That acts as our belt guide. And then the cover, of course, has this little built-in guide also to help guide the belt. All right, so now we can go ahead and tighten our idlers down. 7/16 or number 30 torque. I want to go too crazy on them. Now we can flip this forward, take this back off, wrap our belt around there. Now we can spin that on. And then I'll put that 9/16 back on there. Now that's on there. Now we can push this back, because that's what's going to happen. When we squeeze on this cable, it tightens the belt, which spins the pulleys. Oh, I got this, got to go around there. There we go. See, I almost made a mistake. I didn't have it around that guide. So there we go. Pretty crappy design, huh? So the problem with this mower is it's got 2 transmissions on it. I don't know what these transmissions cost, but that's double the price if the transmissions go out. So let's go ahead and hook this in that hole That's right there. Here's our spring, which goes in this long slot, this elongated slot. Let me move the wheel adjuster. You can get it from the top, Mr. Cameraman. There's the spring. It goes in that slot. And then the other end of the spring hooks in a hole in the side of this bracket right here. And that's just enough spring to pull that back. And of course the cable runs right between the middle there. Now we can go ahead and put our covers back on. So we need one of these screws. Let's line this up here and put that plastic screw in here. Let's make sure it starts. We'll get it started. And then you can tighten it down. Try to get the wheel in a spot. Just gonna tighten it by hand. Because you can cross thread these plastic screws. You don't want to strip them out, because then you'll have a bad day. So that's nice and solid now. Now we can move this back. Now we can start putting all our baffles back in. Put this one in. You can put this in last. You can put it in first. That snaps in there. And this one went in there, but it's broke. But it fits in there. And we got this big baffle here, which this edge here, this lower edge, slides underneath this. You may have to move the blade a little bit. And you can pull this out. Pull this out a little bit. You can pull this out, or again, you can put this in first and then put this in. But if you forget to do that, all you got to do is just pull it out of the way. This little nub here fits in there. And then again, we've got another little plastic tab under here, which locks into there. So you slide this in. That slides down in there. You got this in here. This fits over this. And this fits in there, and that snaps in there. So that's all that. Here's our shoulder screw, which went in the top. 3/8 again. Careful not to cross thread it. And then these screws for that back cover are smaller. See how much different they are? So don't get them confused. You only have 3 of them. One goes here. And then you got the one that goes here. We can put this wheel back whatever position you had it in. I'll flip this over, spin the wheel the other way, and stick this other one in. Now we've got this. So to make sure this cover goes on right and we don't get this part of the belt pinched or on the wrong side of something, it shouldn't interfere with anything, but just in case, you can take a clamp and this is the drive, this isn't the one that's going to start it. You can hold that down so it'll make the belt tight. So now the belt's tight. You can slip our cover into place. And then over here, Mr. Cameraman, you can line up these holes in the bottom. Get them lined up. Got the one way up in there. It's a little difficult to get at. I think I got an extension here. Get them started. Get that lined up. This one's a little tricky. Because the transmission's in the way. And I got a cameraman in the way. Get it lined up. There, we got 3 out of the 4 in there. And look, this cover is on there pretty tight without that one screw, you know, with that one screw I'm leaving out. So that ain't coming off. So no worries. Leave this stupid screw out. Save it for something else. Maybe you got another use for it. Now I can go ahead and flip it over, put that other screw in there for the other side. Now, gas tank up, of course. So when you go to do this side, if you flip it with the gas tank this way, oil is going to run the spots you don't want it to run to, and then it's going to smoke. And since it's got a float bowl carburetor on it, the gas is going to want to leak out of the carburetor, and it's going to soak your air filter. So your air filter is going to get soaked with oil and gas if you flip it the other way. So, if anything, put a block of wood underneath it and get it in a position to where you can get to that. And then again, you're going to have to line up the cover. You might have to muscle it a little bit, like I just had to do, to get the hole to line up. Then you can put that other screw in. That way you're not tipping it in a position you don't want to fill the And again, it's plastic, so you don't have to tighten it crazy tight. And just put your wheel adjuster back to whatever height you like to cut at. Make sure they're all in the same spot. So all the wheels are lined up. And there's your dinner. That's what it takes for this all-wheel drive, or four-wheel drive. Actually, it's four-wheel drive, but they want to call it all-wheel drive. Same thing, potato, potato. Let's not split hairs over terminology. Why do people do that? Who cares? It's a lawnmower. It's not the space shuttle. Let's get it down and fire it up, fire it up, fire it up. All right, let's dust it out. Doing a four-wheel drive burnout, yeah! It's not a bad mower. Just gotta leave that screw out. You go to do this repair, if you're doing this repair in your shop, leave that screw out. Nobody will know that you left it out. You know, worlds are not gonna end. Worlds aren't gonna collide. Dogs and cats aren't gonna start living together, even though some of them do. So, Subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't already subscribed. We got lots of videos. Go to our web store. Mower Medic shirts are back in stock.
What kind of fuel are you running, ma'am?
I'm running 87 in it.
Jeez, lady. How old is the mower?
Well, I bought it in 93, so about 24 years old.
What's the deck size, ma'am?
Oh, what does that got to do with anything?
Ma'am, deck size, please.
About 30 inches.
You might want to get one of these. You know why? Because it'll look good on you. We also have our pint beer glasses that are made in America. They're made in Wisconsin. And that's us etched on there. And there's a 10mm socket melted into the glass. You know why? Because that's the socket you lose the most. So you can pop that out of there when you're in a bind and have a little drink while you're doing it. A nice cool beverage to drink out of there. And check out all the other stuff we got in our store. Also, follow me. Facebook, Instagram, and soon to be banned TikTok. Yeah, they've been saying that for a while and it's still not banned. And if they do ban it, who cares? Still got Instagram and Facebook. Yeah. And as always, there's your dinner. Woo! Fix the spoke belt because a piece of wood chip got stuck in there. Got her working again. New belt, yeah. Husqvarna. All-wheel drive. All-wheel drive. Wasn't that a Bachman Turner all-wheel drive song? All-wheel drive. No, it was four-wheel drive.
Hey, oh, look at this. He's got me all fixed up. Hey.
Yeah, a chip of wood got stuck in the belt and it smoked the belt. Were you out in the woods trying to mow paths? So I had to put a new belt on it.
Oh yeah, you know I'm always trying to cut trails in. Hey, I see you're wearing my necklace. What's up with that?
Oh, you mean this? This is my necklace. Doc Neon made this for me, and you stole it from me in Portland, Indiana.
Hey, he's running away. He's running away, my
Come
spark
back
plug.
here.
Hey, come back here. Hey. Oh, no.
Don't you remember that, old man?
Oh, what? I don't remember it that way. I'm pretty sure Doc Neon gave it to me. He knows I'm the spark plug master.
Well, too bad. It's mine, and I'm wearing it. So, pay me for the repair on your mower and skedaddle.
Okay, fine then. Well, I'm gonna come back later and pick it up. I didn't bring my truck with me, so I'll be back tomorrow, alright? And then I'll pay for it. See ya. Hey.
Here's spark plug. This is mine. It's going back in its case.
Can't believe this. Stealing from an old man. What do we got in here? Oh, look at this little cutie right here. I don't have anything like this. Wow, that's a real nice little baby. Little baby spark plug. Well, it's mine now. Can't believe this. Stealing from an old man. He doesn't know. Old guys rule. Thanks for the plug, Taryl. I'll catch you on the flip side.